Okay, let's get started. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जलशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्दे श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चातदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वंशाकल्पतरुभयश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Okay, thank you for joining. starting starting our discussion today. We are in fact continuing our discussion today. Last week we started uh, the topic as stress management. How to What are the causes of stress and how to deal with it. Let me take the pencil out. So we'll continue our discussion today. Very glad to be back with all of you. Krishna is very merciful. He is very mercifully sending all of you so we can discuss this science of Krishna consciousness. Let me open the PPT that I have. I think we give me 1 minute. I'm trying to get that PPT that we were discussing last time. Okay, I got it. I'm sharing my screen now. So yes, I will revise a bit so that yeah yeah. I hope all of you can see my screen, right? Can someone confirm if my screen is visible now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jaipur. Thank you,
Yes,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Kanamataji. So we are starting this understanding stress and how to beat it. We started it last week. We'll continue this. So we discussed it with the story of Bharat Maharaj. Some of you might be knowing this story already, and for some of you it was a new story last week. You heard first time. Just a quick recap. We discussed this story. We also discussed the talks between Bharat Maharaj and Rahuguna. So King Bharat had a second birth as a deer, and the third birth was Jad Bharat. So basically, Bharat Maharaj third birth, he is talking to this person named Rahuguna. Rahuguna was a king at that time. So we talked about that, and then discuss the main causes of stress, beat stress with three karma principles. So last week we discussed the story and talks. Talks also we did not discuss in much detail. That will continue today, and and then we'll discuss the main causes of stress, and then we'll discuss the three karma principles that we can start following to make sure we don't get into this problem of stress. So we discussed this story last week. So just to quickly tell you, Bharat Maharaj was a king, and at the right time, he left his kingdom he left his kingdom and everything, and he came to forest. But as he came to the forest, he got attached. He got attached to a deer. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm trying to write on this PPT. For some reason, it's not editable. So anyway, so uh, let me quickly ask, how many of you have not heard the story of Bharat Maharaj? Jabro, this is not new to you, right? I think we discussed about it last time.
I wasn't
Sometime back.
last time, so
No, no, not
uh,
the last time. I mean before some of the previous classes. So it's new to you. Okay. And how about others? Sneha Mataji?
I've not heard.
Not
I
heard?
mean, I
Okay.
remember last week was the first time, and
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So actually, Bharat Maharaj, he was a king, and when his children grew up old so much that they can take care of the kingdom, so he left the kingdom and he came into the forest. The purpose was to practice bhakti yoga, to revive his original Krishna consciousness. So he thought, I will go to forest. There will be no much family responsibilities, and he can peacefully practice Krishna consciousness there. So he came to the forest. As you see in the picture, he built a nice hut like this, um, and then he started practicing there. But one day, what happened? As you see on my screen, one day a deer was being chased by a ferocious tiger, and this deer was pregnant and she was running away. She went to hump over the river, and as she jumped over the river, the ferocious tiger began to roar. And out of fear, she had a miscarriage. So, what happened because of this? The baby deer in the stomach of the female deer was pregnant. The baby deer child fell into the river. Now you see the situation. This mother deer is on the other side because she was jumping. She was jumping over the river. So she is on the other side. She has reached the other side. Baby deer fell in the river, and on the other corner the tiger is there because she tiger missed the uh, mother deer. Now what happened? Mother deer um, felt into she saw her child in such a distress and such a helpless condition and not able to help her at all because she is on the other side of the river and the baby has fallen in the river. So being so deeply for the mother child, the mother deer died, and Maharaj was looking this everything that was happening there. So Bharat Maharaj, he was thinking, there is no one on the earth that can save this deer except me. So he took this baby deer in his loving hands and protected it. Huh? And that's where the problem started, because what happened? He thought that who will take care of this baby deer? He is dependent on me now. So he started taking of the baby deer like every day and night. So even though he will be performing his other sacrifices to offer to the Lord, but his mind will be continuously thinking of baby deer. Where is he going? Where is he? In fact, he will prepare nice preparations for the baby deer to eat, and when baby deer, he will not find the baby deer, he will run in the forest more deeper to find him, and he will cry for, if he will not find that, he will cry. Like that he became very much attached to this baby deer. And then what happened at the time of death? Naturally, the Bharat Maharaj thought about the deer, and he took next birth as deer only. But by Krishna's mercy, he knew his previous life, and he realized that he was on a bhakti yoga he was a spiritual practitioner, and because of his attachment with deer, he got another body in this life as deer, and he did that mistake. So in the deer form, also in the second birth, he used to associate with great souls, and here there are narrations of the supreme personality of Godhead Lord Krishna from their lotus mouths. And very soon that deer left his body, and he took a birth again in the family of Brahman. So the first birth is Bharat Maharaj, second is deer, and the third is in the family of Brahman as Jad Bharata. So you see in this picture, this personality here, who is carrying the palanquin of this King Rahuguna. This personality is Jad Bharata. Huh? So in the body of Jada Bharata, he knew his pre-birth birth as deer. He knew previous birth as King Bharat. He knew everything. So this birth he realized that I will live a life of fool. If you are living a life of fool, then people don't respect you. So you don't entangle. What happens? People start respecting you, then you get attached, and that's where the problem starts. And similarly, you also start loving them back. And when they will not reciprocate, you get hurt. So he said that I will live a life of fool, even though he knew everything, but he will show that he doesn't know anything. So he was carrying the palanquin of King Rahuguna, but again his heart was very soft. So while he was carrying that, he saw some ants passing by. So he thought that if I will step forward, this ant will kill. So he was just stopping intermittently at different places. So as soon as he will stop, the palanquin will get disturbed, and king will be like will he didn't fall, but it was quite disturbing for the king to sit in the palanquin because of this. So the king became very furious, became furious, and then king said that you are just a servant. You know how you should be serving the king. Then Jadabharat Maharaj said that this king Rahuguna is the right candidate to get the transcendental knowledge, and then he started preaching. So there are different texts in Shrimad Bhagavatam, what Bharat Maharaj is teaching to Rahuguna about different aspects of life. And one of the text we took, which is related with our topic today, is stress. So this is the translation that we discussed. We'll discuss it in more detail now, and then we will see the video again, the 2-minute video uh, we watched last time. I'll take a pause here. Any question from anyone, Jai Prabhu or Puna Mataji? I know you missed the class. Or yeah, others were there. Shalaka Mataji, I don't know if you were there, but let me know if there is any question so far. Uh, this is the sum total of what we discussed in the last class. Jai Prabhu, you're good?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah,
You
sure.
good? Okay. Puna Mataji, you good?
She's not able to attend today, so I'm here.
Okay, sounds good. I heard her voice, so no problem. So yeah. So Bharat Maharaj says to Rahuguna, दुःखं सुखं व्यतिरिक्तं च तीव्रं कालोपपन्नं फलम् अव्यक्नक्ति आलिङ्गया माया रचितन्तरत्मा स्वदहिनं समश्रुति चक्रकूटः. He's saying the materialistic mind covering the living entity's soul carries it to different species of life. This is called continued material existence. Due to mind, the living entity suffers or enjoys material distress and happiness. Being thus illusioned, the mind further creates pious and impious activities and their karma. Thus, the soul becomes conditioned. Correct? Let us understand this. The materialistic mind covering the living entity. This is an important shlok. So we'll go our usual diagram, that we discuss all the time. So it says the materialistic mind covering the living entity's soul carries it to different species of life. We'll first discuss the first line. So what happens? Soul. So this is a spiritual word, and this is material word, right? So we have discussed this multiple times that there is soul, and the soul falls into material word. Correct? No? The soul will fall into material world. Now, why this soul has fallen into material world? That is our first question. Who can answer this? Today's discussion will be little interactive because there are a lot of concepts we'll discuss. Yes.
Because soul wants to enjoy separately from
Separately
God.
from Krishna? Yes, definitely. Yes, you're right. So soul wants to enjoy separately from Krishna. So soul is first given a covering of mind. Mind is the warehouse of desires. You have independent desire, you need an independent object to enjoy, so you take it. This is mind. Hmm? So like that, soul is given an object called mind. Now mind will be having a lot of desires. Let's say one of the desire of the mind is to to have a great fan following. Thousands and millions of people should follow me. But then you need some other thing to make arrangements for those followings, which means even if you want to start a YouTube channel, you need to have an intelligence. So there is another object in our body called intelligence. And yes, intelligence is there, that okay, you can start a YouTube channel or something. You need some body parts to work in that direction. Just intelligence is not enough. For example, a handicapped person wants to have a lot of followers, want to become something, but he doesn't have the uh, body fit to do that, then he won't be able to do anything. So Krishna is saying, okay, you have the gross body also, correct? So the soul has these, it's like the whole body having like in our body we have some undergarments and then we wear the main clothes on top of the body, correct? Similarly, soul gets mind and intelligence as like undergarments, and then gross body is like main garment on top of it. I think it is easy to understand that way. Now mind, which is full of desires, when it comes to in the material world, and the soul mind is having all those desires. So as we have already discussed this, that it will start pushing to the intelligence start pushing to the gross body, and then soul is entangled. Soul is thinking that in this way I can enjoy in this cage of material body. This is called encaged, or some people call it entanglement. Entanglement. Soul is mistakenly thinking that I can enjoy in this cage like a parrot. Parrot can freely fly in the sky, but now in the cage, parrot is thinking that I can enjoy, and this cage is everything for me. Anything happens to the cage, I will get hurt, like that. Now, what is happening in the process? Um, let's say you are traveling certain destination from point A to point B. You want to go, let's say, from Dallas to Houston. Hmm. Now, on the way, you will see many things like nice houses, nice car, uh, uh, probably nice people from bodily perspective, bodybuilder like that. So when we are moving here, our eyes are continuously working. We are seeing different objects. So we are developing a lot of desires, like one desire, two desire, three desire. One desire might be to have more nice house, nice cars, one more nice car, one more, probably nice body or something. So even though the soul might be having, when falls in the material world, just one or two desire, but while it is traveling its journey, it starts accumulating one desire, two desire, three desire, four desire, five, sixes. That is why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Dhyayato Vishyan Punsa Sangasteshu Upajayate. So Bahu Samprashaja Bhoga. As soon as we touch material objects, touch the senses touch the object of enjoyment. These are the object of enjoyment. Immediately the tendency to the lust develops, that I want to acquire them, I want to enjoy them. So the point is, the soul, which comes to material world with, let's say, one desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, it starts accumulating one desire, two desire, three desire, and then unlimited desires, like that. Okay, and then soul is stuck here. So now let's come to the first line, the materialistic soul covering the living entity soul, materialistic mind, carries it to different species of life. Now let's say one desire is to eat meat. Another desire is to sleep more. Another desire is to, let's say, revenge. I have to take revenge from a particular person, you know. Now you need to have different bodies to do this. For example, to eat meat, you need to have a body of lion. Sleep more, have to have a body of polar bear. And revenge, then you probably have to take a body of probably snake or something. They are very envious. So because of these unlimited desires, the soul starts acquiring one body, second body, third body, fourth body, like that. It is stuck. The soul gets stuck in the material world. And that is the meaning of the first line. The materialistic mind covering the living entity's soul carries it to different species of life. Because mind, when it is on its journey, like we are on a journey acquiring different desires. So the soul is on its journey in this world. So it is acquiring one desire, second desire, more desires. And because mind is the warehouse of these desires, so mind is responsible to take the soul to different species. Any questions so far? Okay. Then it says this is called continued material existence. Due to mind, the living entity suffers or enjoys material distress and happiness. Now you see, mind was carrying some desire. Let's say mind was having the desire to become richest person of the world. And then the person becomes richest person of the world also. And now he is very happy. He enjoys, he is enjoying material happiness, he is enjoying. But then his ranking gets down to, let's say, from 1 to number 5. Now he is under distress. Even though he is one of the richest person, if not the number 1, but now he's the number 5, but now he's under distress. So this happiness or distress is coming out of mind only. This is due to mind. He is thinking I am suffering. He is thinking I am enjoying. Because if I made up that I made up in my mind that this is something I need. This is the definition of my happiness. Mind is creating the definition. If I get this, I'm gonna be happy. If I don't get this, I'm under distress. You know. So our stress topic is that stress comes from mind. Mind is the cause. Why mind is the cause? Because mind keeps accumulating a lot of desires. Whichever is getting fulfilled, mind is happy. Not fulfilled, mind is under stress. It is being thus illusioned, the mind further creates pious and impious activities and their karma, and thus the soul becomes conditioned. So far, so good, everybody. Now, let's see.
One question.
Yes, Jaipur.
So the soul goes from based on whatever the mind was doing and wishing or other
Ha,
things, or it gets a new life in a new
ha,
body.
ha,
So
ha.
that is so when the new mind,
Hmm.
new birth, is the mind carrying over some of the previous thoughts and wishes, or it starts fresh now?
Always, it will always be carrying those wishes life after life.
So we just don't realize. I mean, that's where probably
Correct.
some of us have a desire to
Hmm.
be.
It's
We
like
are.
prioritize, no? Like like let's say one, two, three desires are there. I'm just taking an example. Otherwise, mind contains unlimited desire. But I'm just taking an example. Let's say one, two, three. The prominent desire is to eat meat. Hmm?
Mm,
The other desire, let's say, will sleep more. But the prominent one is sleep meat. So first, lion body will be awarded. Whatever
right.
is prominent, that will be awarded, and this will stay hidden. When the lion period is over, then this body of polar will come into picture. It's like that. It's
But
like
the
a
mind
stacking.
develop some new as a lion.
Ah, correct. So let's say in the mind is developing fourth desire, fifth desire like that. So they will
Okay.
also come into queue. That is why we are saying that it is like unlimited loop. You're stuck here.
Right. Right.
Makes sense, no?
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. That is why I'm saying now. This is the first line. Being thus illusioned, mind further creates pious impious activities, and their karma and the soul becomes conditioned. Conditioned to get body life after life, life after life, life after life. Because this desire process is not stopping. That is the problem.
Right.
Okay, so let's move next. I want to play this video, and I don't know if you will. Let me know if you don't hear the sound. Okay, there is no sound. Let me see if I can play this. No, thing wrong. Sorry, I have to stop the sharing and then look at the PPT again. Okay, yeah, I got it now. So I will share the sound, and there you go. Yeah, the sound will come now. Yeah, this is the name is the fly. It's a great warrior in meditation. They became two. It was one fly earlier, now the same fly became two. Two became four. Acha. So sometimes, as you see in this video, you have to wait for the time. This warrior was trying to kill the fly which was troubling him, and then the problem kept on increasing. But then he saw a hole in the wall, and he saw that a fly can easily pass through the wall, and he won't get any problem. But he just have to wait. We will just have to wait. You see the same thing Krishna is also telling Arjuna, Trigunne Vishya Veda Nistragunne Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Satvasto Niryogachima, that you don't get stuck into this dwand. Dwand will keep troubling you. You will sort out one problem, the second problem is right next door. Wait and watch. You don't sometimes we don't need to fight all the wars. Some wars are just watched for um, the warriors to get settled with the war. Anyway, so the main agenda today's discussion is three karmic principles to get rid of uh, stress. Krishna has given everything in Bhagavad Gita, you know. So whether it is stress, depression, anger, anxiety, um, you know, everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. So regarding this, Krishna has given three principles that we'll discuss today. One is no expectation. Krishna is telling in second chapter, we should not have any expectation, because when you expect, then you degrade yourself because no one is going to reciprocate the way we expect. Second is no comparison. It is said that you are born unique, don't die duplicate. So we should not have any comparison, and then there should be total regulation. So first two are don'ts, and the third one is do. Let's discuss them quick. So in the yeah, so there are two class of people that we see in the world today. One is called Bhagyavadi, another called Karmavadi. What is Bhagyavadi? Bhagyavadi people, those believe in this philosophy, they say, oh, everything is already destined, why to work? Anyway, the thing is supposed to come, they will come. Uh, let's sleep, let's have fun. Why to work hard? There is no point of working hard because everything is already destined. We will get it anyway. So just take a chill. And then second category is Karmavadi. Karmavadi people say that there is no God, there is no destiny. If you will work hard, you will definitely get the result, and you don't need to depend on anyone. It's just your own muscles, your own brain that you can achieve anything. So you understood that two extreme. One extreme says there is no karma, just depend on bhagya, and the other extreme says there is no bhagya, it's all karma. The two extreme we are extreme category of people that we find. You know, all the materialistic people, they those don't believe in God. They just keep working hard day and night, thinking that they can enjoy the material world uh, out of their own intelligence or connections. And there are bhagyavadi people. They don't work. They're like in the mode of ignorance. They don't work at all, thinking that things will fall in place without their hard work. What Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita is this: कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भू मा ते संगस्तुष्कर्मणि. So Krishna is saying in second chapter, text 47, that karman karmane, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. What does it mean? You see, Krishna, when in the second chapter, when Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna, he's talking about soul. He is telling that Arjuna, you are not the body, you are the soul. Then Arjuna was very happy to listen this because he thought that okay, anyway, the bottom line is that we are not the body. Then why do we perform our duty? Why do we perform specifically bodily duty? If everything is soul, then we don't need to perform bodily duty. But Krishna is just was still telling him to fight, and that's where we see the beginning of the third chapter, where he is asking Arjuna, Krishna, that Krishna, please tell me very clearly, do you want me to renunciate or do you want me to fight? Hmm? So the underlying idea of explaining what is body, what is soul is so that people can perform their duty nicely. If there is only bodily attachment, then there is a problem to perform the duty. So in the first line of this translation, Krishna is saying you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. You see an example of sowing the seed. If you sow a seed, then you are expecting that seed to grow and eventually become a tree, and let's say give you nice mangoes, the cherry arm. So the thing is that you are doing your duty, sowing the seed, but then getting the result out of that seed, mango, depends on rain also, isn't it? Now, is rain in our hand? No, right? Rain is not in our hand. If Krishna is merciful, he will definitely go and shower the rain. And then there is a time factor also. There is a dedicated time for every seed to grow, become a tree, and then grow apples. So there are three factors working. Other than our own endeavor, there are two more factors working. Correct? I always give this example. Let's say you are lifting a heavy bucket. You are trying to lift a heavy bucket and you are not able to. Then there is a second person who is looking at you and then says, "Oh, okay, you don't do it alone. It's very heavy. I'm coming." So he comes to help you, but then both of you are also not able to lift it. Then third person looks at you and they say, "No, I'm coming, wait." And then three of you lift the bucket and put it on a different place. But then one of them start shouting, saying that yes, I did it, I did it, I did it. For such people, Krishna is saying, in the third chapter, that ahankar vimudhatma karte hiti manyate. He is thinking that I am doing. Out of what? Ahankar. Out of false ego is thinking that I am the doer. So such persons are like vimudhatma. Krishna is saying they are stupid. They don't know that there are two other people, those who are lifting the bucket. So similarly, whatever result we get in our life, results are definitely not in our hand. You work hard for some exam, and right on the exam time you met an accident, and you are not able to appear for the exam. Or right on the exam date, exam time, you fall sick. You are not able to perform. So result is not in our hand, you know. So when we expect from people around us, when we expect from ourselves, um, recently I heard um, my sister, I think she's also there on this call. She was telling me that um, one girl was admitted in Noida hospital, and she was just in 10th grade, and this girl committed suicide. You know the reason? The reason was she just secured 81% in her exam, just 81%, and she committed suicide. You know, can you imagine people? I mean, how much we are expecting too much from ourselves. That is another reason. The expectations are like I should be getting this at any cost, and if I'm not getting it, then I'm of no use. And this is the science Krishna is telling, that you are not entitled to the fruits of your action. You should just be performing your duty. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, otherwise you are vimudatma. You are not intelligent. Never be attached to not doing your duty. You know, some people initially, especially when we come into Krishna consciousness initially, we think that, oh, anyway, this Krishna consciousness is so beautiful, Krishna will arrange everything, and I will just sit idle, enjoy the life. Krishna is doing everything. So that is why Krishna is also attaching this line, you know, Mate Sangastva Akarmani. Akarmani means not doing your duty. Never be attached. Sango means attached. Never be attached to not doing your duty. So the point is that we should be performing our duty as a father, mother, as wife, son, daughter. We should be performing our duty without expecting anything in return from anyone in this world. And if we do, then we are forgetting this principle. So we have to keep reminding ourselves that I'm not the doer. I'm just doing my duty on behalf of Krishna. I give you another example. I heard from somewhere from my speaker. He said that let's say let's say you have a watchman. So watchman is supposed to guard your home, right? That's his duty. His duty is to guard your home. So anyone who is coming in the home, he is just to stop him, make sure he is the authorized person, and then only he should be allowing his entry inside the house or colony. But let's say this watchman starts saying that I am the owner of the house. Ah, there is a problem, which means he's not doing his duty. He's trying to show his control or his ownership on something that he doesn't own. So things and people of this world belong to Krishna, and this body ourself, that the body that we are carrying, that also belongs to Krishna. So we are not here in this world for someone or something to give us enjoyment. The expectation starts when we think that we are the controller, we are the proprietor, and we are supposed to be enjoying the objects or people of this material world. You know, so we have to keep reminding this philosophy to ourselves that Krishna is saying you have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but don't get attached to the action of it. So now then some people question this. Some people say that then we should not be thinking of result at all. I mean, if I don't worry about result, then how would I perform my duty? You know. So the thing is that we should give 100% karma. We should be doing our duty with full 100% dedication, with the full focus. That result is in our hand. When we do our karma, our duty, we should think that yes, result is in our hand. With that full enthusiasm, we should do it. And at the same time, we should be praying to the Lord with full enthusiasm and dedication that it is all depend on Krishna to get us the result. So that 100% of karma and that 100% of prayer give us the 100% result that we are entitled to. Make sense? This is the combination that works. Yes, Jabru.
Prabhuji, this makes total sense, but there's one
Mm-hmm.
thing. We are
Yeah.
also we also say that, you know, and I'm talking about karma in terms of, since the world we live in, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
working and how much to put into your work and how much to put into bhakti and, taking out time for it. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
totally trying to do 100%, I mean, that 100%, you can, when you don't get the results, then you say, okay, I could have done more, you know, 10 hours, 12
Uh-huh.
hours, 16 hours. So if you don't do it, then you feel that, okay, I haven't done my karma. But then if you get too involved in this,
You are
then
entangled.
you
Yes.
are in. So
Correct.
how do that's the trick thing here. I think that's the difficulty, right? I mean, that we end up in.
No, whatever, as much something is helping you to your Krishna consciousness also, because you understood the balance that your Krishna consciousness is important. For example, we know eating is important and
Yeah.
sleeping is also important. If I just keep sleeping and don't eat, that is not good for my health. If I just keep eating, I don't sleep, that is also not good for my health. So when we do our duty, we also have to realize that our Krishna conscious practice that we do, chanting, hearing, reading, that is also important. And at the same time, duty is also important. Then we'll have to use our intelligence to make a fine balance between the two, you know. So if we do complete, if we let's say do 16 hours of work and not worry about Krishna consciousness practice, that's a problem. And if we keep chanting all day, don't do our duty thinking that Krishna will take care of it, that also doesn't make sense. We'll have to do our karma.
Right. Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, Nitai Karuna Prabhu. You already know everything, Nitai Karuna Prabhu. What can I tell you?
No, no, Prabhuji, it's nothing like that. I just have a comment. I think to add to the Prabhuji question, or maybe just
Yes,
a
Prabhu.
comment. I think society at large has been designed in such a way where this uh, the concept of bhakti or concept of spirituality is not even considered part of life. They now talk about mindfulness. All large corporate, they are offering mindfulness in some way or other way, where they do now focus about taking care of your personal, mental stress and etc. etc. What we are talking today, but in general, this principle is doesn't fit in the a larger scheme of the things of the way society works. So that's why we are not really about talking about it in our day-to-day life. Where does it fit? That's one of my point is, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Thank you, Nitai Prabhu. It's majorly materialistic agenda that different corporates are running without worrying about people. And I think ISKCON and other spiritual organizations like ISKCON are preaching heavily. It's like a fight against Maya. You know, Maya is kicking people go deeper and deeper into materialistic life, and then devotees are trying to pull people up and up to bring them closer to Krishna. Thank you, Nitai Prabhu, for sharing this. So yes, no expectation. We should have. We have to understand this philosophy. How to stop expectation? So some things have already been tied up before we understood it. We already have started expecting from ourselves or probably from others that I should be getting this, or someone should be giving me this. Two things that I understood after hearing on this topic is that we should be doing our duty. Do your best, leave the rest principle, which means do your duty nicely and leave the rest on Krishna to decide. If you are already expecting something from yourself, then we'll have to keep reminding this that what one speaker says that when someone asks why to worry, he says, can you do something for this? If let's say answer is yes, then why to worry? And then let's say answer is no, then why to worry? If you can do something, then you do it. Don't worry about it. And if you cannot do anything about it, then also why to worry? You know, even though it seems very logical to think, but yes, practically it becomes a little difficult to practice, and that is why it's called practice. We have to practice that we can do our best, but as far as outcome is concerned, we'll have to leave the rest on Krishna. Right? Serve others with proper mood. You know, we have been grow up in this education system where education system is teaching us this me and me and me principle. You know, you are the topper. You should be enjoying this. You should be getting this benefit. If you'll do this, you'll get this job. It's me, 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 me. You'll get this benefit. And because of this, we started expecting from others because there is a me enjoying mentality within us. So I'm expecting from government to give me all the facilities. I'm expecting from neighbors. I'm expecting from my relatives. I'm expecting from everybody. I'm expecting from God also give me all type of enjoyment. When I was in TCS 2014, one of my colleague, she said that I don't believe in God. I said, what happened? Had you always been a theist? She said, no, no. I was a firm believer of God, but then last year I lost some of my relatives, close friends, so I don't think God is there. Hmm. So it's like owls in the night are shouting, there is no sun, there is no sun. Sun needs someone's authority or someone's signature that sun exists. No, right? The God exists. You believe it or not, God exists. But because we are thinking that God should be there to serve us, and that service is not happening, then we don't believe in God. It's like condemning God. If we don't believe in God, then God will feel offended. They don't believe in me. So we'll have to start our journey. The journey is from I to you. We'll have to we'll have to start with this journey where I will say that okay, I am done with this I. Just me, mine thing. Will start my journey, um, so that so instead of if I want to be served, let's say if I want to be served, then I will not find people. All the people will be serving me. I might get a nice spouse who will be serving me all the time, but I might not get everybody. Friends, relatives, they are there. But change if I change it, that instead of having this mentality of to be served, let me develop this mentality to serve others. Then it becomes easy because even if people are not serving me, I'm not expecting that also. But let me serve others with proper mood. Instead of thinking that people should respect me, let me develop this mood of respecting others. I'm not going to expect respect from others. Let me respect everybody. Let me not expect from people that they will hear me, but let me develop this mentality that I will be hearing everybody. Mm. Let me not think that people will give me charity, but let me give charity to others. You know, so we'll have to start our journey from I to you, from enjoying myself. Let me give enjoyment to others with the proper mood that they are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamavansha Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatana. So with that proper mood, if we serve, then we can get rid of this expectation from others and from ourselves. Okay, the second thing, comparison. Krishna, there is a nice story I heard. Uh, it says that so in the world today, right? This is because of our conditioning in this material world, we have been injected with this attitude of I am better. If you and me are talking and I am able to counter your argument, then you will feel defeated. Huh? Similarly, if I'm not able to counter your argument, I will feel defeated because this mentality has been ingested in our mind that I am better. But think of children. Children are talking, they are not feeling offended at all because they are still not being conditioned to that level where I am better mentality has been developed. There is a nice story too. People were trying to cut a piece of paper, and one person said, "Oh, we should be using a knife to cut it." The other person says, "Oh, what rubbish! What are you saying, knife? We should be using a scissor." Then the person says, "No, no, please try to understand. We should be using a knife." So the second person says, "What rubbish? Again, I'm telling you, we should be using a scissor." But then they started fighting. The fighting went on to the extreme of hitting each other. So the person who was supporting the knife, he lifted the other person and threw him in the river. And he thought that when he will be drowning, then he will accept his defeat. So from his side, he was saying, "Knife!" And the person who was drowning, he said, "Caesar!" And he said, "Accept it. I will save you. Just say knife." So this person said, "No, you are wrong. This is Caesar. We'll use Caesar." Like that, this person is drowning deeper and deeper and deeper. Now the water level is right on his neck, and they is still drowning. So the person outside who was supporting knife, he said, "Accept it. It's knife." So this person said, "No, no, no, no." Now the water level is right on his mouth, and he still says, somehow he's struggling, bringing his mouth out of the water. He says, "Caesar." And then this person says, "Last time I'm telling you, you are about to die. Just accept its knife." Now the person who was drowning, now he's in the water. He's in the water, and his hand comes out. His hand comes out like this. And as you see me, I don't know if you're able to see my video, he starts moving two fingers like in the shape of Caesar, like he's cutting. So even though he's drowning, but he's still moving his fingers um, to show that I'm still sticking to the same idea that it is Caesar, not the knife. Now, what is the overall idea behind this? Um, they wanted to cut the paper. Now, use knife or Caesar, how does it make sense? But because of this mentality of that I am better than you, they kept into this fight and this comparison that I am better than you and my opinion is better. This is another level of stress that we have. For example, in offices, there is a meeting, someone puts up some idea, and our idea is not being heard. We get stressed. You know, um, we are sitting with friends, other idea is being opinionated. Some person has an opinion, and his idea is being respected and clapped, and people are not hearing me. So this is a comparison mentality has been developed by our education itself. Education system itself fuels this mentality that I'm better than others. You are you're the top scorer. You got better marks than him. Even I used to hear from childhood that this person got this much marks than you. You just secured 60%, is 70%. This is actually ridiculous, that we kept this idea from somehow has been ingested. But you see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling this. There's a famous quote: "You were born an original, don't die a copy." Krishna is saying, third chapter, 35 times. Krishna says, "Shrivan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma swanushtitat swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha." Krishna says it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Now, this is so amazing that everyone is born unique. Einstein said that if you convince a fish that it can climb a tree, then fish can spend its whole life in depression. Right? If we tell the fish that you should be climbing a tree, convince him that yes, and then his whole whole life is gone. She will be thinking that I cannot climb a tree. This is so bad, you know. And this is what is happening in the world today. In ancient time, education system was quite unique in the sense that students will go to Gurukul, and the teacher will first identify the nature of each of the student who has a Brahminical nature, which means who has the nature to read scriptures and teach others. And similarly, Kshatriya, who has a tendency to fight. They will see, okay, who has a nature to earn money, and who has a nature to serve others as a Shudra. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So these four categories. So they will identify what is the nature of one person. And Brahman, the person having Brahman nature, will never be pushed to work for someone or to fight against other warriors, things like that. It was never a system like that. Is Nitya, you should share something?
No, I think I had
Okay,
by mistake. Yeah.
okay. So, so that's where it said if it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. So we all are born with certain nature, you know, and if we start competing with others, so it's like it's like a fish having a nature to swim, but it's trying to climb a tree. And that's another reason, where to get into stress that I am not perfect enough to do certain things and I'm very imperfect. This mentality comes because we are not working on certain areas where we are good at. We are trying to enter in the areas where others are good at. And sometimes, because of the confusion, people also don't know their own nature. Sometimes when I advise people to work in the areas they are good at, then they say, I don't know what I am good at. you know and that's where the role of a spiritual master or the senior people who has the knowledge of the scriptures, who has spent some time with you, comes into picture. If you want to know about your nature, spend some time with someone who is senior, and then keep inquiring from him, develop a relationship, and then he would be able to guide you. You should be doing this. you know that's the best way to save yourself from stress. So two things. One was expectation. Don't expect from anyone, even not from yourself. Solution is serve others. How to stop expectation? Serve others. Do your duty nicely, serve others. Second is comparison. We should not get into the comparison because we are born unique, you know, and everybody has their own talent. Everybody can excel in certain areas. So we should be using that talent to excel in that. If I go back to that PPT, sorry, MS Paint, so I was showing that in mind carries lot of desires life after life, right? So what happens out of those desires? Let's say one person gets the body of lion, hmm? Other person gets a body. Let's say 1 minute. Let me open a new new one. So let's say one person gets a body of lion, and another person gets a body of polar bear. Huh? Now this is also coming from desire. This is also coming from desire. This is soul one. This is soul two. This soul one in another birth, due to his another desire, is gonna get the body of polar bear, and this soul too in another birth out of his another desire is going to get the body of lion. But you see what is happening? Lion is comparing himself with bear here and is under stress. And here the bear in the next birth, he is comparing himself with the lion as an under stress. Do you see a point here of being stressed? Does it make sense any at all? Why? What is the point of being stressed? Why? What is the point of comparing? The body or nature that we are getting, it's out of our desire that we are carrying life after life. I am fish today, but I am comparing with the monkey who is able to climb the tree. And next birth, I can become a monkey. Monkey can become a fish. Then I will probably be comparing to the fish that I cannot swim. What is the point? All of us are carrying different bodies, different natures, life after life, out of previous births. So let us use our nature, our body in the service of Krishna and purify all the desires so we don't get any more body after this life. There is a hand raised I got. Yes, Nitya Kadapu, you wanna share something? I saw your hand raised.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just again going back to the same point, how this whole society has been developed, where you everybody born, go to the school, learn science, maths, social studies, etc., etc., and eventually you are trained to do a job, or maybe a corporate, or start a business. But this whole idea of varnashrama has been kind of removed, right? And this whole idea, if you are doing a job of let's say carpenter, or a job of ironman, etc., we had so many jobs, but nobody wants to take up the job. Why? Because this idea seeded into your mind, this is low jobs, this
Yeah,
is only you have to study because so that you can become a highly qualified. And if you do a survey right now, and even in this audience, I'm sure if you ask in this audience 12 people audience, how many people really sure about doing IT job? I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes, you're right. Hear from others also. Uh, Monica Mataji, what's your take on this?
No, there are, Guruji, thank you for the amazing insights. I think I was when you were talking about the expectation that just do your karma and then do not expect. I was just thinking because I read a lot of personal development books, and
Hmm.
I feel like there is a lot to unlearn from that, because those
Hmm.
books, they say, expect high from yourself,
Oh my God.
uh, and your kids, the only thing you can do is just expect, and then when you raise that expectation, so you perform to that expectation, or if not beyond, but at least
Hmm.
you meet that expectation.
Hare
So
Krishna. My God.
yeah, so
Hmm.
there is conflict between the
Yep.
thinking. So I think
Yep.
there are two paths. Like you have
Hmm.
like there are like some, they say that you have to lot of do lot of learning, and then
Hmm.
unlearn certain things that has become the part of your belief system. So
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so like to having that the gross body and then the mind connected, because mind is expecting so much from you,
Hmm.
from your
Yeah.
kid, from your
Yeah.
job, from your colleagues, from your
Hmm.
family. So I mean that has become a problem of, like, I think, a root cause of your stress.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
Totally.
and it is, yes,
Hmm.
and it is very difficult. I think it's like that's why a lot of people, it's very difficult to practice detachment, because we
Hmm.
expect too much, and that's
Hmm.
how we have been learned throughout,
Throughout this.
our
Yeah.
throughout our life. We learned that expect high, expect, our
Yeah.
parents expected high, we are expecting high from us, beating ourselves
Hmm.
every day. Okay, maybe I could have done this better.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you.
like, yeah, lot of
Thank you.
lot of things to unlearn.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing, Monica Mataji. Let's hear from Shalaka. Shalaka Mataji. You wanna share anything? Shalaka. I don't know your first name is. Okay. Might be. No problem. Yes, Udit Prabhu, you wanna share? Oh, okay. No problem. Shalaka Mataji is driving. Probably she's unable to talk.
Am I audible, Rosie? Am I audible?
Yes, Udit
Hare
Prabhu, go ahead.
Krishna.
Yes, you are audible.
Rosie, I'm agreed with Nitya Rosie, and nothing more I want to add on.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Udit
So,
Prabhu.
thank
So
you.
let's go ahead. So how to stop comparison? The first is mindfulness and meditation. So we understand the futility of matter and rise above it. Like Krishna is telling, Trigunne Vishya Veda, Nistragunne Bhavarjuna, Nirdando Nitya Sattvasto Niryogchematman. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that Arjun, you are only talking about matter, understand the futility of it. If you are giving me the reference of all Vedas, Vedas are talking about three modes of material nature: Tamogun, Rajogun, Satagun. And so don't stuck in matter, rise above it, be transcendental, situate yourself in Sat. How do we do it? We practice daily, we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I know many of you have been chanting 16 rounds, some of you have started chanting 4 rounds, 5 rounds. Thank you so much for that. If you have not started yet, please do that. That is our that is a prescribed practice, spiritual practice for Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, no samagri is pure, like ghee and all those things are not pure to do a fire sacrifice. So, but this transcendental sound vibration, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is supremely pure. It's supremely pure. It's Krishna's name. It's coming directly from a spiritual word. So that connects us to Krishna directly. And that is the prescribed method also. So when we start doing it, then slowly, we start realizing that most of our attachments, unnecessary attachments, are um, are g- are are going away, and we are feeling much relaxed than the co- connection with our matter.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
uh,
sure, Prabhu.
I have a
Oh, you are
question.
there. Yes, how are you?
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, like, so
Huh.
why we need to chant 16 rounds? Why, what is that 16 number? Why we,
16 only.
16 only, any specific,
Yeah. Um, it's like an agreement. Like you take admission in university. Like when I pursued Bachelor of Engineering, and there was a handshake between university and myself that will give you 4 years of degree. Why 4 years only? No, you they say you will become perfect engineer in 4 years.
hmm.
It's a handshake between university and yourself. So similarly, 16 round, there is no specific reason for that. It's a handshake between a sadhaka, the practitioner, and the spiritual master who has the authority to take the soul back home, back to God. And he says, okay, you just chant 16 rounds, whole life you will be purified, and I will take you back to God.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No problem. Then count your blessings. Sometimes in this pressure of world today, where we want to prove ourselves out of comparison with others, we forget where that road that we have traveled so far. The road was long enough, but we are still here in much better place than others. Let us count our blessings. Krishna says in 6th chapter 36, Yo mam pashyati. Krishna says, those are worshipping me, I take care of them. So let's count our blessings that Krishna has already given us so much. Why are we crying for something more? In fact, this become little difficult if the desires are more. Krishna says, Bhogashwara prasaktanam tayapahat chesam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhona vidyate. Krishna says, if you are too attached to sense enjoyment, then you cannot get the peace in this world, because you are just keep running and running and running, and and you are not able to breathe properly. You are not peaceful. Why? Because you're continuously running. Let's take a break. Let's count our blessings. Self reflection. Everyone has its own journey, its own vehicle and its own style of driving. Correct? You are driving, you have your own car, you have a different road to travel. You have your vehicle. Someone is driving truck, someone is driving Mercedes, someone is driving, you know other small vehicle like Nano or something. So all of us are on different journey based on our karma, you know and as we start comparing it, then it's like, this body, my body is different, your body is different, someone else body is different. I have my own way of driving my life. You have your own way of driving your life. Other one has his own way of driving his life, right? There is no way I can get your body in this life. At least I cannot say, okay, sure, body is good, let me get this body and enjoy the life like he is enjoying. I have my own vehicle. Yeah, this body is my vehicle. You have your own vehicle. So why do we? And there is a different style of driving. You are on a different road based on your karma, but different route based on your karma. I'm on a different route based on my karma. So everybody is having his own journey. It's like someone is going to Delhi and someone is going to Mathura Vrindavan, and they are comparing their style. The one who is going to Delhi has a different level of traffic, and the one going to Mathura Vrindavan will have a different level of traffic. So there is no point of comparison at all. So who can we compete with? We can compete with ourselves. I was up to this level yesterday. Let me increase my level day after day. So from that perspective, let us regularly reflect. We own our goals, our values, and progress to remain centered in our own journey. Like I said, we are in our own journey on this path. Krishna says apuryamanam achala pratishtham. Okay, so I'll quickly take the third one, and I will not spend much time on regulation, the third one, because we will discuss this in the next class, which is bringing the misfortune, turning the misfortune into fortune, something like that. So we'll discuss that regulation part there as well. But to give you a brief of this third point, so first we discuss expectation, no comparison, and third is regulation. First were don'ts, no expectation, no comparison, and third is do, regulation. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara Viharasya Yukta Chestasya Karmasu Yukta Swapna Vabhodsha Yoga Bhavati Dukhaha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So we have so many responsibilities, work, health, family also demands time, and we also have different hobbies to pursue, and then the body needs rest also. So and everywhere, if you want to excel, then it becomes very difficult. At the work, if you want to get promotion, hike, you have to do really exceptional, isn't it? And if you want to be happy in the family, you'll have to spend time with the family members. And if you want to have a nice connections, then you need to have a social life as well. And then you have to take care of your health. Then you have to practice yoga or some gym. And then we also carrying some hobbies out of our nature. So many things that we have to do in our life. And so until we regulate, we will get stressed. You know, regulation is very important. While I'm saying this, I also need to work on this. Sometimes the family is also demanding your time, but you are too busy in preaching these subjects. So yes, all of us are learning on this path. Krishna is telling that if we can regulate our habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work, then all the material pains that we go through in this world because we are out of balance, we can handle them. Really, one thing that I understood is uh, this thing, samadhona vidhyate, that we just discussed. I have seen that we have too much of desires that we want to fulfill. You know, if I have if my to-do list is too long, then 24 hours are too less, isn't it? If even within every day, if I have the to-do list keep growing, then 24 hours are definitely less. So similarly, if mind is occupied with so many desires and I have prioritized them all to fulfill, then I will just keep running. There is no peace. I will definitely get stressed out. So what we have to do, we have to prioritize them with detachment. Detachment in the sense, the correct understanding that I am the part and parcel of Krishna, and let me do the duties those are necessary for me in this very life as a worker or as a family member, whatever. But those are really required, and let me not add up those desires which I can put aside. As you see in this picture, right inside corner, there is mind has a limited space. I mean, our brain has a limited space, and if we occupy the brain with unnecessary things, then we'll not be able to do things which are necessary. So we'll have to reprioritize the things that we want in our life and then accordingly put them into priority order. Which one I want to give the time first. So practicing detachment and reducing desires can lead to a more regulated and serene life. This does not mean renouncing the word like Arjuna was saying, he was saying I'll renounce the word. No, doesn't mean renouncing the word, but rather engaging with it without being emotionally overwhelmed by it. Someone calls you and then 1 hour, 2 hour, that's called emotionally overwhelmed. Or 2 hours are gone and then we realize, oh, we don't know where time is flying. You know, we'll have to prioritize our life from that perspective. Okay, thank you so much. I took some extra time today. I'm sorry for that. I took 10 minutes extra. Okay. Is there any question or concern we can discuss? Neha Mataji, you good? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no problem. Okay. So we'll stop now. Thank you, Shilata Mataji. Thank you so much. Panchakalparubheshya कृपा सिंधु पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वंद कीजिए शिलापाद कीजिए हरे कृष्ण
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful session. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण